Well, you know, when I drive into the city, for me, I reminisce back to September 11th every time I see the New York City skyline. For me, September 11th is every day. It's not, you know, the 10th anniversary, the 11th or 12th, or now this year, the 16th anniversary. It's every day for me. So every time I see that New York City skyline, it brings me back to September 11th, and more importantly, remembering those that died by my side trying to do the right thing. Well, you know, on September 11th, it was a regular day for me to go into work. I left my house, living a dream, really. You know, I kissed Allison goodbye, kissed my 4-year-old little girl goodbye, kissed Allison's tummy. She was 7 months pregnant with what would be Olivia, and skipped down the stairs going to work. But at that point, Inspector Fields, who was in charge of our command, came in and said, "We commandeered a bus on 9th Avenue. We're going to call your name, and you guys are going to get on the bus. We're going to go down to World Trade Center to help our fellow Port Authority police officers in evacuation." Made a quick phone call to Allison. I got through that day. I told her I was okay. And when we got there, it looked like Armageddon. I mean, we got off the bus about a block from the World Trade Center. There were papers flying everywhere. There was debris everywhere. It was sad, because here we are in the United States, the greatest country on earth, the most powerful country on earth, and we were under attack. That's when I kind of snapped out of it. Sergeant McLaughlin came running from the buildings. He had parked up on Church and Vesey, came running up, and he said, "I need volunteers. I know how to use Scott air packs." At that point, myself, Dominic Pizzulo, and Antonio Rodriguez volunteered. We had just graduated from the previous academy, and we knew how to use the equipment, and we started running. And I got to tell you, I was scared. I took an oath to serve and protect, and people were counting on us. So you had to put your fears to the side and focus on the job. And I'm grateful that I had good friends around me, good cops around me, that we felt the same way. At that point, Sergeant McLaughlin said, "We're going downstairs to the police desk." So we went downstairs to the police desk, and as we went into the police desk, it seemed like just a terrible dream. At that point, we were approached by one of our fellow officers who recently transferred from the bus terminal where I was stationed with the rest of the guys to the World Trade Center, and his name was Christopher Amoroso. And Chris was the kind of guy, as cops know, we have a saying, I'd go through a door with that person. And because you trust somebody with your life, and that's the kind of guy Chris was. Chris had come up to us and asked Sergeant McLaughlin if he could join the team. Sergeant McLaughlin said yes, and we asked him, "Chris, you're right, he had a bad injury under his eye." He had already saved 4 people. There's a famous picture from a Daily News photographer of Chris saving a lady. And he had saved 4 people, and he said, "You know, I'm okay, guys. I got hit with a piece of concrete, but we've got to get a lot of people out of here today." So, and Sergeant McLaughlin, knowing his work ethic, said, "Yeah, go ahead and join the team." At that point, Sergeant McLaughlin directed us to get a canvas cart, a mail cart, and start loading more equipment. So we loaded up more air packs, more axes, more lights, whatever we could get our hands on. We're walking up this long hallway where we would walk up, make a left to go to Tower 1. We never knew Tower 2 was in distress. But halfway up this hallway, we were stopped, as Sergeant McLaughlin said to some firefighters and an EMT, "Be careful, there's the elevator shafts down in B1 level are buckling." That's when his radio sounded off and our inspector asked where we were. Sergeant McLaughlin was given the location when we heard a humongous boom from where we came from. That's when Sergeant John McLaughlin said, "Run. Run toward the hallway, toward the elevator." It was in a dark hole. It took a little bit, but there was a hole about 30 feet up and light was starting to come in. And when I could see, all I saw was a humongous piece of concrete on my body, covered up pretty much my whole left side. And Sergeant McLaughlin said, sound off. I said, Jimeno, and Dominic said, Pizzulo, and that's all we heard. We didn't hear Christopher Amoroso say anything. We didn't hear Antonio Rodriguez say anything. And Dominic said, I think I can shimmy out of here. And Dominic at that point had to make a decision because he said, Sarge, I can make it out this hole and go for help. And Sergeant McLaughlin said, no, you need to get Jimeno out and then you and Jimeno get me out. But at one point, Dominic sat back and said, Willie, I can't get you out. That's when we heard another boom, like the first one. And I remember just making the I love you sign because this is what I always said to Allison and my daughter. And I crossed my chest with the I love you sign because I figured we weren't gonna make it. And if they found me, at least they would tell Allison that this is the way we found them. She would know that I was thinking of her. And then Dominic was just bleeding out his mouth and he had sustained a really bad injury. And you know, I just, Dominic, you need to hold on. He said, Willie, I'm dying. And he asked Sergeant McLaughlin for a break, with 3-8, what we say. So he said, Sarge, can I get a 3-8? Sergeant McLaughlin, in all his pain, he actually stopped and said, yeah, you can have a 3-8. At that point, Dominic said, Willie, I love you. Don't ever let anybody forget I died trying to save you guys. I said, Dom, I would never let anybody forget this. Fighting for your life takes a lot. And for me, I used my Rolodex in my mind to think of things that were gonna keep me alive. And one of them was hunting, believe it or not. I mean, I couldn't move, I wasn't going anywhere, so I started telling myself, just think about hunting. They pulled me out of the hole, and that's the first time I cried that night. Because I looked up, I couldn't see the buildings. And that's when a firefighter said, it's all gone, kid. Allison had reached out to Mossy Oak and let him know when I was in Kessler Rehabilitation how depressed I was. And I got a phone call, and I remember Allison handing me the phone. She said, we have someone special that wants to speak to you on the phone. And she handed me the phone. And I said, hello. And Toxie Hayes was in the other end of the line. And he had that southern twang. And he said, hey, how you doing? It's Toxie Hayes from Mossy Oak. And I remember literally starting to cry. And I had to give the phone to Allison. And she said to Toxie, you know, hold on a minute. He's emotional right now. And she said, he asked why. She's like, I don't know. So, but I got back on the phone and I said, hey, Toxie, how you doing? You know, I'm emotional because here you are, someone that is an outdoors person I look up to, and you're taking the time to call me. And he said, well, I'm just a redneck. And I said, no, you're not just a redneck. You're an American, and probably a busy American who took the time out to call me and give me support. You know what? If you've been through some tragedy, make sure you find a passion that's going to help you uplift yourself every single day. I don't care what it is. For me, it's hunting. The outdoors is just a peaceful place. It's a place I can get away. Olivia, my youngest, who was my birthday gift, actually born on November 26, 2001, this year, wanted to go turkey hunt. He's coming, I see him. Here he comes. Okay, get ready. Wait. Let him stop. Let him turn. Go ahead, shoot him. Put it right on his head, go ahead. That's right there. Put it right on his head, shoot him. Shoot. Yeah! Oh my God! High five! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my goodness! She put a great shot on it. I don't know who was more excited, her or me, but I'll tell you what, if I never shoot another animal, that's fine because it was a blessing. Yeah, well, I love you. Great bird. And going into the 16th anniversary of 9/11, you know, I was able to experience something else. And, you know, every day I get up, I thank the Lord for allowing me to be walking and talking. You know, I'm blessed that I'm healthy. I have a beautiful family. We love the outdoors. Proud that I served my country in the military. I'm proud that I served the citizens of New York and New Jersey with the Port Authority Police. And I'm proud to be an American. And I hope this 16th anniversary reminds everyone of how short life can be, but how precious it is, and to enjoy every single day.
to all those lost on 9/11 and to all their families and loved ones. We at Mossy Oak will never forget. Port Authority Police Officer Will Jimeno, everyone here at Mossy Oak extends their most heartfelt thank you for your service. We are honored to know you.